I just started by reaching out to other Indian students at Purdue who were already at Purdue. And I quickly found that they had an organization at Purdue called the Indian Graduate Students at Purdue, which is abbreviated as IGRASP. And then from there, I was just able to go to their Facebook page, post, and try to find potential roommates. And then I just started looking at. I just started with Google, and I found a few different websites. We've got apartments.com, apartmentlistings.com. So $1,000 a month, from which about 400 used to go towards obviously rent. You could spend anywhere between 200 and 300 a month on food, depending on how much you cooked by yourself. Besides that, you have other expenses come up. It's generally under $300. Other expenses are the numbers that I'm giving you are from 5 years ago, so I'm pretty sure it's a lot more expensive now. There's really not much leeway there. You cannot talk down the price unless you happen to have a car and are living further away in Lafayette, which would be about 6-7 miles away from campus, where the lease structures are not so set in stone. You can negotiate over there, but otherwise not near anywhere near campus. I've actually grown up in the Middle East myself, and I grew up with a pretty multicultural crowd, and so in terms of homesickness, not too much. West Lafayette is definitely a lot less populated. Life is a little slower in West Lafayette compared to some of the bigger cities in the U.S. I would say that that was something a little harder for me in particular to get used to, was that given that West Lafayette is a smaller town, things did not go on for as late in the evening as they did living in a city like Mumbai. I would recommend getting there at least a week before the orientation. The reason for that is obviously there's a huge difference in time zone, but besides that, another thing you need to get used to is the fact that the sun doesn't set until 9:30 p.m. in the U.S. in August, especially in Indiana. The orientation introduces you to the course requirements for different programs, master's, PhD. It also introduces you to the graduate committee and all the people you will be seeing in the graduate office on a daily basis, or as needed when you would have to interact with the graduate office. They will also give you information about demographics, what percentage of students applied, how many were let in. Most importantly, I would recommend going to the orientation because you also get to meet people, and that's something you need to do because you're in a new place, and it's helpful to make friends right from the get-go. You could have classes as small as 9 or 10 students. The common courses, like a generic math course that people from all majors take, you could have classes as big as 90. We had about 30% Indians and about 35% Asians, so you've got Chinese, Japanese, Koreans, and so on. From the people that I knew, I would say at least half of them did have prior experience. So you do find some time for extracurricular activities. Purdue in particular has what we call the Recreation Center, which has over 70 different sports that are offered, and it's included with your tuition. So whatever tuition that you pay allows you access to the Recreation Center.